Glad you're here. Welcome to Models and Agents, episode 96 for June 29th, 2026. Your daily AI briefing. Monday in the AI world, which means a weekend's worth of announcements to catch up on. Let's go. OpenAI's $20 billion Cerebras chip purchase has effectively removed high-throughput ASIC inference capacity from the market for everyone else. Cerebras' near-term inference supply is now pre-allocated to a single hyperscaler. That pushes smaller teams off the waitlist indefinitely. New agent memory runtimes and research agents launched today show continued movement on the tooling side. Watch how teams adapt their inference strategies as custom silicon access tightens. Cerebras struck a roughly $20 billion deal to supply OpenAI with large volumes of its inference-focused ASICs. The agreement has pre-allocated the majority of Cerebras' near-term capacity. This leaves the public API waitlist effectively closed for non-hyperscale customers. A small startup building a real-time coding agent reports needing sustained 1 to 2,000 tokens per second throughput. The team now sees no realistic path to access. The development highlights how concentrated demand for specialized inference hardware can sideline smaller production workloads that do not require training-scale clusters. Teams relying on Cerebras class latency should evaluate alternative providers or on-prem options immediately. This moves the inference supply constraints question forward because smaller production workloads now face longer lead times than frontier training runs. Uvion LLM is a new model family trained with adversarially aware data construction. It uses knowledge-enhanced pre-training and policy-grounded safety post-training that includes risk-aware supervised fine-tuning plus reinforcement learning for tool use. The 8 billion parameter variant reportedly outperformed several larger baselines including GPT 5.4 and Qwen 3 Max on multiple safety benchmarks. It ships with the Uvion LLM Risk Eval suite spanning 93 benchmarks focused on adversarial robustness and real-world safety scenarios. Builders working on agentic systems that must resist jailbreaks should test the 8 billion checkpoint this week against the current safety stack. The context-ready transformer adds a lightweight correction network that pre-contextualizes each token before it enters the main D-layer transformer block. The change turns the architecture into a recurrent model at inference time. A D=5 configuration beats a standard 12-layer transformer while running 1.7 times faster on an A100. A single-layer version with K=10 unrolling matches a 6-layer baseline at 2.6 times speedup. The approach works by caching a summary of prior context and combining it with the current token embedding via a zero initialized correction FFN during fine-tuning. Teams running long context inference on limited hardware should experiment with converting existing checkpoints using the described adaptation path. EndMTP introduces a training-free scheduler that switches between different tree-based attention topologies for multi-token prediction. The switch is based on a running estimate of local generation entropy. It delivers a 1.15 times average speedup over Hydra and up to 1.36 times over Medusa across Humanable, ShareGPT, GSM-8K, and Litbench while preserving output quality. The method avoids the fixed speculation depth of prior MTP approaches by matching draft length to context predictability. Developers using speculative decoding today can drop the scheduler into existing Hydra or Medusa setups with minimal changes. CoreWeave released Aria, an agent designed for autonomous research and collaborative intelligence. The system can iterate on research tasks without constant human direction. It emphasizes multi-agent coordination and is positioned for workloads that benefit from sustained self-directed exploration. Early users can access it through CoreWeave's platform. Organizations running large-scale research experiments should evaluate whether Aria reduces the need for manual orchestration compared with current LangGraph or Crew AI setups. EverOS stores agent memory as plain markdown files indexed by SQLite and LanceDB. It combines BM25 with vector retrieval plus multimodal ingestion and self-evolving skills under an Apache 2.0 license. The runtime is local first and includes a runnable code walkthrough, plus interactive demo. It targets developers who want transparent, editable memory without vendor lock-in. Teams building agents that must retain long-term context should test the hybrid retrieval against their current vector-only setup. Microsoft's Agent Framework tutorial continues with guidance on safely connecting agents to personal data sources after establishing basic tool use and planning in Part 1. The harness adds controls that prevent unrestricted data access, while still allowing the agent to reason over user information. Developers already using the framework can follow the incremental rollout to production-grade data handling. TCAN added agentic AI capabilities to its Introspect Lab analytics platform. The integration enables more autonomous data analysis workflows in laboratory settings. It focuses on turning raw experimental data into actionable insights with reduced manual intervention. Labs already running TCAN hardware should check whether the new agent layer changes their current analysis pipelines. RAG-less replaces standard document retrieval with question-to-question matching. An LLM generates 3 to 5 variants per answer at ingestion. Each variant gets its own embedding, and query time scores are aggregated by answer ID using dual thresholds of 0.70 aggregated and 0.82 single-hit fallback. The GitHub repo provides the implementation under an open license. It targets closed-domain FAQ systems, where the answer space is finite, and eliminates the generation step entirely. Teams maintaining internal knowledge bases should compare precision against their current RAG pipeline on a held-out set of questions. Supersede introduces an RL environment that rewards agents for using the current value of a fact and penalizes stale information. The environment directly targets the memory update gap observed on long mem eval. Fine-tuning Qwen 2.53b with GRPO on this environment raised held-out supersession accuracy from 9.0% to 16.7%. The benchmark and training stack are released publicly. Agent developers dealing with multi-session conversations where facts change should add the supersede verifier to their evaluation harness. Okay, let's pop the hood on the NMTP approach for a moment. Everyone talks about multi-token prediction as a simple way to speed up generation. In practice, NMTP shows it is a dynamic scheduling problem where speculation depth must track local entropy. Low entropy regions support deeper drafts with high acceptance rates. High entropy regions require shallower trees to avoid wasted verification compute. The scheduler maintains a running entropy estimate and switches among a small set of pre-computed Pareto optimal trees. It adds negligible overhead while lifting average accepted tokens per step. On the tested benchmarks, the approach yields 1.15 to 1.36 times speedups without quality loss because it avoids the fixed depth penalty that hurts earlier static MTP methods. The key engineering decision is keeping the tree library small and task-specific rather than attempting online tree search. Use entropy-guided scheduling when your workload contains mixed predictability, such as code mixed with open text or structured JSO with occasional free-form fields. Fall back to standard speculative decoding only if your generation distribution is uniformly high entropy. Test the EverOS Markdown memory runtime on a local agent that needs editable long-term context without vendor databases. Run the UVion 8 billion checkpoint on safety-critical agent tasks to measure jailbreak resistance versus your current model. Add the RAG-less QQ retrieval pattern to any closed-domain FAQ system and compare precision against your existing chunk-based RAG. Experiment with NMTP scheduling on top of an existing Hydra or Medusa speculative decoder for mixed entropy workloads. More open-weight models are expected to adopt vocabulary-aligned sparse autoencoder techniques for interpretable features. Additional agent memory frameworks will likely appear as teams seek alternatives to vector-only stores. Further papers on memory update training signals are anticipated following the Supersede release. Continued focus on entropy-aware inference schedulers as teams optimize for variable generation difficulty. Tomorrow, keep an eye on any follow-up announcements around Cerebras capacity allocation and how other inference providers respond. That's Models and Agents for today. If you found this useful, share it with someone who's trying to keep up with all these changes and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's update. The AI world moves fast. We'll help you keep up. See you tomorrow. And if you'd rather watch than listen, find us on YouTube at Nara Network. Links in the show notes. And before you go, this show is part of the Nara Network, a family of daily podcasts on tech, science, and markets, each one a short, sharp briefing you can finish on the commute. If today earned its place in your feed, here's your next listen. OmniView, a balanced daily world news briefing that takes every side seriously. Find every show free at naranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.